Welcome into Jags AM here in not so sunny but beautiful England as we are presented by Jet Home Loans today. You guys, we're on location, not the Hyundai Studios, but Hyundai Studios on location, and it's pretty much as good as this is going to get for environments. It's at least in terms for practice. Right?
Hanbury Studios. Sounds almost the same.
Hanbury Studios, yes. John, I know you don't like to be away from home, but we're doing okay, right?
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Okay. Look at this. We got positive John today. I'm excited. All right. Let's get into our big things right away. Big thing number one this week is going to be Josh Allen. And this week, Josh Allen can mean two different people because, as we know, we have our Josh Allen, and this week we're going to be facing off against Bills quarterback Josh Allen. And that will not be a light test because what we've seen from him the last couple of weeks, Brian, has been him at peak form.
Well, he threw the 3 interceptions on opening night against the Jets, and everyone said, well, there's Josh Allen, he's regressing. Since then, he's thrown 8 touchdowns and 1 interception, completed 77% of his passes, and, oh, by the way, these Bills have scored 38, 37, and 41 points, 48 points for an average of 41. You name it, they're doing it well, especially on offense, and Josh Allen is playing like an MVP right now.
Well, when he's right, he's as good as any quarterback in the league, including Mahomes, mainly because he has that running ability where he can just run through guys. His issue over the years has been every once in a while he has a game, much like week 1, where you say, there's that guy. It's a very dangerous task, and they need, again, for the Jaguars' Josh Allen to be the best Josh Allen on the field, which a couple years ago he was.
You can look at numbers. 6'6", 250 looks different on some people. This is a big. If you stand next to him on Sunday at any point, you will see he looks like an offensive tackle, right? I mean, he's not quite as heavy as an offensive tackle, but he's just massive. Broad shoulders, long arms. When he's in the pocket, he's very difficult to bring down. And more so than that, when he gets up a full head of steam, he's not scared to put his shoulder down and push through someone to get to the first down marker. He is as dangerous a quarterback as there is.
John, are we going to see another example of the battle of the Josh Allens like we saw last time where our Josh Allen had a day?
Well, you sure hope so. I mean, I got a question a couple of days ago about will the Jaguars use the same strategy that they do 2 years ago? Well, they're not going to want to use the 9-point game plan.
So not going to hold those guys to 6.
Well, I don't think they're going to want to score 9 either. So I don't think they'll use the offensive game plan. But if they can have a game plan where Jaguars Josh Allen is disruptive and somehow get the Bills Josh Allen into one of those days where he forces something, where he just does stuff he doesn't want it to, that's what you want. And this Josh Allen, meaning the Jaguars, this year, there's no reason to think he's not going to play well right now. So I think there's a chance.
You could absolutely see Josh Allen, but I think it's more likely if the Jaguars win on Sunday that you see Trayvon Walker's name coming into it because they desperately need more pressure from him off the other edge. And, while we're at it, the guys pushing the pocket on Sunday could really help force him to step out and give them a better chance. But they really need Trayvon Walker to come through on Sunday because the Bills are going to slide the protection towards Josh Allen, knowing what he did to them 2 years ago and knowing what he did a week ago.
Our big thing number 2 this week is going to be cavalry because we've got some help coming back this week. Cam has been taken off of the suspension list, so he's back practicing. He could be available to play this week. Zay Jones is a potential possibility. Agnew's working his way back. When you look at that, is that hopeful for us? I mean, I know things aren't going great on the offensive side of the ball right now, but some people are coming back.
It's always better to have your guys than not have your guys.
Sure.
And I do think Cam Robinson, if he can play left tackle, will matter. It would enable them to move Walker Little somewhere and help. Everybody, when Cam was suspended, there was this overall feeling of, well, his contract might be up at the end of the season. Let's move Walker Little there. Don't worry about it. Maybe even Trey. Brian, when guys are starters and 5 or 6 year starters in the NFL, they're that for a reason. Cam matters this offensive line on the field and off the field.
Well, the reason the conversation about the salary cap came up is because he's got a $23 million cap figure next year, one of 4 players over $23 million, and they have to pay a quarterback, maybe a cornerback, maybe a pass rusher. So that's why that conversation came up. And honestly, the inside of the line has been so ineffective that they need Cam back so they can move Walker Little in. And I'm going to talk about that to a greater degree coming up with this or that. So I'll talk more about the fact that you get Zay Jones potentially back this week. He's such a clutch guy for the quarterback, and we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. He's always seemingly there when he needs them. And it's not just like the dump off. It's, there's Zay 22 yards down the field on 3rd and 9. And not having him the last 2 weeks, the offense has seemed a bit out of rhythm. Not that Zay Jones is the heartbeat of the offense, but he's more important than people give him credit for. We talk about Christian Kirk, Evan Engram, Calvin Ridley, Travis Etienne. Zay Jones is no less important than any of them when you look at the overall flow of the offense. And I think it's big. One other guy, and I don't know that he's back this week, but we could hear today from the head coach that he is going to be activated to the 21-day practice window is Dwan Smoot.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the practice and the pass rush. That would be an interesting one. Hope to find that out this morning.
Antonio Johnson's been practicing as well, so there's a lot of names of different people that'll be coming back in the coming weeks, so that's something to keep an eye on for sure. Our final big thing today is second of 4, because it's the second of the 4 big AFC matchups that they have this season. Obviously, Kansas City was one of them, the Bills this week, and then we'll have Cincinnati and the Ravens a little bit later on in the season. And of the AFC elites, right, that's kind of where you measure yourself up against them. John, I know we'll go into a little bit of the Kansas City versus this game with the Bills, but it's always good to see where you're at against a team you know will be around in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's I think of the 2 games that they played in London, last week really mattered. I think that had more of a must feel than this game has. If you drop to 2-3, you don't want to drop to 2-3, but if you drop to 2-3, you've got the Colts next week, and you still feel like it's still within range if you drop this game. This is more of a measuring stick game. It's 1 of 4 or 5. Don't forget Frisco's in there too. I know they're not in the AFC, but you talk about a monster game. So this is one of those, and you would like to get it. If you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. Don't love the chances if the Bills play well, because the Bills are at such a high level right now. It's not knocking the Jaguars. Bills might be the best team in football right now.
I think they are, which is why I think this is interesting, because with Kansas City, you know how they like to play, and you've been close. I mean, you can go back and look last November, last January, this game that we just saw in September, and now you get a completely different Bills team than this club has seen in a while. 2 years ago, they were coming off of a big win in Kansas City on a Sunday night, and I thought we'd see that powerhouse Bills team. We didn't. I mean, for whatever reason, they were completely ineffective. They were totally flat that day. It was a 9-6 game. I expect that we're going to see on Sunday those Bills that put 48 points up against the Dolphins, that powerhouse football team. And I want to know how this team matches up.
Sure, I think we will definitely see some of that on Sunday. Here on Jags AM, one of our sponsors, Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury, fieldsauto.com. We'll be right back talking a little bit more about what's going on in the division in the AFC South.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
In partnership with Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation, any Jaguars ticket holders who are unable to attend a Jaguars home game can donate their future tickets to a Jacksonville area first responder. Visit jaguars.com/members and click Manage Account. Sign into your account and click Manage Tickets and Parking. Select the game tickets, click on the More button, and then choose to donate to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. Firehouse Subs is dedicated to impacting the life-saving capabilities and the lives of local heroes and communities. For more information, visit firehousesubsfoundation.org. Crown Royal's That Deserves a Crown program recognizes local heroes for making a positive impact in the community. The Jaguars and Crown Royal are giving back to those who serve this season, celebrating these individuals with the ultimate VIP Jaguars home game experience. Nominate someone who deserves a crown today at jaguars.com/Crown Royal promotion. Please drink responsibly.
For 10 years, Dreamfinders Homes have been proud to call themselves the official home builders of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all of the available inventory, and go Jags. We're back here on Jags AM this morning on location in London as the team prepares for their second game abroad as they'll take on the Buffalo Bills this week. But we're going to check in around the AFC South, see what everybody else is doing, because everybody's tied at 2-2 right now. So the playing field is up for grabs, and the lead is up for grabs, I guess, depending on this week. We're going to start it with the Titans, who just beat down on the Bengals, which I don't know if it says more about them or it says more about where the Bengals are at right now, if they're just falling apart or what's going on there. But it's crazy to see.
This league is so interesting because 2 weeks ago, the Cleveland Browns just took apart the Titans. They couldn't do anything right, and they beat them 27-3. Then you go get a team that many consider to be a favorite in the AFC this year in Cincinnati, and they did everything right, and they beat them 27-3, right? I mean, which team is it? I'll say this. They got a big game from Derrick Henry, which is what has powered them. It's made Ryan Tannehill so effective since he joined them in 2019. If they can continue to get that, we'll see the good Titans. On the days where he's bottled up, it's all on Tannehill and his arm, and they don't have the receivers necessarily to take over a game. But when the running game works, man, they're good.
Yeah, and it really is a week-to-week league. And in the AFC South, 2 long-standing NFL truths have come to be. Week-to-week league's one of them, and you just don't know what the league is until about 5 or 6 weeks in. Are the Titans that team? I don't think we know yet. I've said all along, though, count them out at your own peril. Under Mike Vrabel, this team always seems to have a 3-1, 2-2 to start, and then they get it together. If they stay healthy, they're always dangerous. Out of the teams in the division, the Titans, to me, still feel like the team because of that element, and they know who they are. They always feel dangerous until they're eliminated.
He's a veteran coach and a guy who always seems to have them ready to go.
Always seems to find a way, he does. Elsewhere in the division, the Texans manhandled the Steelers, and again, the Texans are starting to show a little something, maybe sooner than we expected.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud is coming out of the gates like Ben Roethlisberger did, right? Only Ben Roethlisberger had Jerome Bettis and an excellent defense, and they don't necessarily have all the weapons around. So he's been really impressive and very composed. I still don't think he's thrown an interception, which is remarkable for a rookie quarterback. I think that meltdown moment is probably coming, but that's only based on a long-standing history in the league of it happening to every rookie quarterback. Although it didn't happen to Ben. He won 11 games in a row. So Stroud is either going to have his letdown or he's going to be Ben Roethlisberger, which is not a good sign for the Jags in the division. It means he's going to be really good for a long time.
Yeah, I think the Texans are okay. I think the Jaguars played poorly against them, so I think that gave the Texans a chance to look really good in Jacksonville. Not taking the victory away from them, but they looked really good in that game because the Jaguars looked really bad. I sort of wonder if the Steelers aren't maybe they should be in the AFC South because they've been up and down and up and down. So I don't know if we can figure out yet what the Steelers are to say that the Texans are a power, but they're sure not in that bottom 5 of the league that people thought they were beforehand. They're more tough to figure for me than the Titans. I don't quite believe they're great, but they're better than we thought.
Well, DeMeco Ryans is getting a lot of credit in Houston
as he should.
Yeah, for the job that he has done coaching, and he's got that defense playing better than their talent would seem to indicate. It's interesting because Mike Tomlin, who is a tough guy as there is in the league, was all over his team post-game and early this week about the fact that they got manhandled by the Texans. The Steelers are not used to being the team that is pushed all over the field, especially not with a big power back like Najee Harris, but teams have done it to them, and the Texans did on Sunday.
Very interesting, the people that were taking that quarterback in Pittsburgh over Trevor Lawrence right about now. We're going to check out the Colts. That's our final thing in the AFC South. They lost a close one in overtime to the Rams this week, and they're going to be the opponent we see when we head back to Jacksonville, and they look like they're putting some things together as well.
Yeah, that feels like it's going to be a big game. I mean, it's going to be a chance, no matter what happens on Sunday, for the Jaguars to get 2 games over division rivals, so it's going to be key. I think most people thought, Brian, before the season that if you played Minshew over Anthony Richardson, it would give the Colts a better chance for the short term. It would be interesting if they win Sunday and they go into Jacksonville, and if they can get to a certain number of wins, do they stick with Minshew? because they think they've got something right now, or do they go back to him? I have no idea the answer to that.
Well, Richardson played last week against the Rams.
Well, then it shows me. I was over in London.
Yeah, he played against the Rams, and he played well. And got them a chance to get back into the bowl game. So I imagine they'll stay with him. What's interesting is if you go back to opening day, the Jaguars' offensive line played very poorly, inconsistently, Phil Rauscher would say, against that Colts defensive front, which is why they need to make some adjustments to the offensive line and get it right with Cam Robinson back, because if you're going to beat the Colts, you're going to have to control the line of scrimmage. They didn't do a good job of that on opening day, and it'll be a measuring stick for the offensive line if they're ready to go and play them when we get back to Jacksonville.
We're going to do some more offensive line talk when we come back here on Jags AM. Stay with us. We got this or that coming up after the break.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Hey Jags Nation, it's Andre Sisco, safety of your Jacksonville Jaguars, here to talk to you about Lou Ray Peanut Company. Lou Ray is bringing something to the market that has never been done before, microwavable boiled peanuts. Whether you like salty or a peppery Cajun kick, they've got you covered. Now, thanks to them, y'all can enjoy boiled peanuts at the bank while you watch me and the rest of the team tear it up on the field. Can't make the game? No sweat. Find a bag at a store nearest to you by heading to LouRayPeanut.com/find us. Go nuts, go Jags, and as always, Duval.
Have you noticed? It's raining a lot in our area lately. That means you can give your sprinklers a break and save some money in the process. Lawns only need water up to twice a week, and that can come from rain. So before you run your sprinklers, remember to watch the weather and wait to water. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com.
Price.com is the easiest way to save money with comparison shopping, cashback coupons all in one. It's free. Try Price.com today.
Y'all boys good? Y'all look good, man. I'm great, baby. I'm great. Y'all look good, man. Let's finish this.
Pistol formation. Play fake. Trevor rolling left. Fire that's caught by Evan Ingram. He's got a 45 into Falcons territory along the near sideline.
Hey, way to be a dog, bro. Way to be a dog, bro. Hey, sit down, big fella. Sit down. Get your rest. Way to fight, man. Way to fight, bro. Way to step up. Way to step up all day, bro. That was big time, bro. Good coach.
Mic'd up for us this week in that game at Wembley Stadium. I found out we are 3-0 when Evan is mic'd up, so we should do that a little bit more, I think.
Right, put one on him permanently.
Was that the Evan play where they were still singing Sweet
Yes,
Carolina?
he talked about that.
That was fantastic.
It was so funny. He was like, yeah, I knew they were coming to me, and I couldn't hear anything or the snap, so I just kind of ran. I was like,
the Brits love Sweet Caroline, bro.
Oh, they sure do, which I didn't know outside of Boston, but apparently it's very popular here in the UK as well. So we're going to get to our Price.com this or that today. Brian, do you want to kick us off? What's your this or that for us?
Well, the Jaguars have a rare opportunity because you've got a starting left tackle who is coming off suspension. You've got a left tackle who has started in his place, who has played well, and you've got a valuable reserve who is extremely close with this quarterback. So do you make the wholesale changes? I assume, John, like you have been saying, that we're going to see Walker Little slide inside and Cam into the lineup. But I'm saying because Luke Fortner has not played well this year. He just hasn't. And the thought was he would get stronger, and he hasn't because he's getting pushed at the line of scrimmage. And that is throwing off the timing of the offense as far as I can tell. So I would make the wholesale change. I take Shiloh Shatley, who has played center here at a very high level for them when they have needed it, move him to center, put Walker Little in at left guard, and I would put Cam Robinson at left tackle. And I know you're going to say that the quarterback center thing is important, continuity, all that. But Tyler Shatley he and Trevor are very tight, right? They share the same agent, they share the same pastor, they share the same alum, alma mater. I mean, these guys are tight, and I think he's a calming factor for Trevor Lawrence. So I would go ahead and make the wholesale change.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't rule that out. I don't think we'll have a great idea if that's going to happen or not, maybe till game time.
I think you're right.
I would not rule it out because of Shatley's strength, and they have gotten too much push on the interior. I don't think it would be a bad idea. The counter argument against it would be, as you say, there is some continuity, not only with quarterback, but with offensive line calls that teams don't like to change centers unless they have to. I think it's a fascinating storyline all season. I mean, all week, though,
yeah.
Brian.
Agreed.
I'm curious if Cam will get in immediately because there's still some speculation about whether he'll be ready to go. He's been around the team, but he hasn't been practicing yet, so I think he will be. But
he wasn't in great shape in August, and they were unhappy with him. He needed to dial it in while he was away. From what I've heard, right, from people in the building last week, is that he looks good.
Okay, well, we'll have to see.
And my guess with Cam is he probably knew he wasn't going to need to be ready until now.
Right.
He's a veteran, knows how to get his body ready. I would guess that's the case. We'll see.
That's what I've heard.
All right, John, what's your this or that for us this week in terms of kind of a tough test?
Well, tougher test. The Kansas City Chiefs, who you would think would have been the toughest test of the season, being the defending Super Bowl champions, and they're brutally tough no matter what, or the Buffalo Bills in Week 5. Before the season, I think most people would have said the Chiefs. And this is nothing against the Chiefs, but when they came in, Brian, you remember Travis Kelce wasn't quite up to speed. Chris Jones, they had great games, but they didn't feel like the Chiefs yet. Whatever the Bills are, they feel like the Bills.
Let me tell you.
So I think it's hard to imagine the Jaguars this season facing a team coming in hotter. Something you said earlier sort of triggered me thinking. They had played the Chiefs, so they sort of knew what to expect. We sort of knew the matchups to watch. With the Bills, I don't think anything that happened 2 years ago really matters this week. I have no idea what to expect. I do expect that this team, meaning the Jaguars, needs to score at least 28 to win this game.
Yeah.
Maybe more. You could see the defense holding them into the 20s. I don't know if they're going to hold them into the teens. So I think we need to see the Jaguars offense that we thought we were going to see this season.
All right, so I think it's by far, Buffalo. And people will take this as an offense towards Kansas City. They don't mean it that way. They beat you with scheme. They beat you by putting wide receivers in the pattern that you can't possibly cover and a quarterback that you can't possibly stop. These guys just overpower you at the line of scrimmage. You realize they're averaging 41 points a game the last 3 games, and the Jaguars have scored 42 points in the last 3 games. They're holding their opponents to only 8. This is a game of power, and they are just giving it to people. A number that I came across. Number one, we've talked about the Jags' red zone problems. The Jaguars have 9 red zone possessions. They have 4 touchdowns and 3 field goals. 9. They've scored 1 touchdown in their last 6 trips to the red zone since opening day. The Bills have 19, and they've scored 13 touchdowns and 5 field goals, and they're doing it with the power. So I say this is a much greater test.
Yeah, Miami was the flavor of the week last season. I mean, last
like
week
Kansas City, they
7.
beat you with more guys than you can cover.
But the Bills, I think, are only 11 points behind Miami in terms of total scoring this season. The Bills might be the flavor of the season.
You know,
like
we said
I did their flavor of the week and then flavor of the
Buffalo
season.
flavor.
That's TV stuff.
Yeah, I know
that.
you're really good at it too, John. I just want to point out, we talked earlier about how good a league it is week to week, and we talked about Tennessee giving up, winning 27-3 one week and then losing 27-3. How about this? The Dolphins score 70 and then give up 50.
Yeah.
Right? How good are you?
Week to week.
They're good, but are they as good as the Bills? I don't know.
All right, my this or that this week is going to be part of the players returning. If, we have at this point on Wednesday, we don't know if Cam is going to start this weekend. That's definitely a possibility. And then Zay Jones, from all accounts, was expected to possibly be available for this game against the Bills. So if you can only have one, which one would you rather have back first? And who's a bigger, has a bigger impact, I guess, right out of the gate? Cam or Zay?
It's tough because, as Brian said earlier in the show, Zay matters a lot, and I think he gets overlooked because they have so many receivers. Yep. I'm going to go with Cam because the offensive line has been such a struggle. I don't know that I love the pick, but I think for this week, I'll go with Cam, Brian.
Well, I'm going to go with Cam as well, because Cam strengthens 2 positions at once, right? He strengthens left tackle and he also strengthens left guard. And that's not a knock on the way that Walker played left tackle. He played well. But you're bringing in a veteran guy, and he strengthens two positions at once. And so I'll say, Cam, though, if Zay plays, I expect him to make a couple of critical third down catches. So it's a toss-up.
And that's really where they've missed him.
Yeah.
Zay in the big moments. Trevor, everybody talks about the continuity and the timing that he has with Christian Kirk. It's not that far behind with Zay.
Well, the catch he made on that drive to set up the game-tying field goal against Dallas last year, it was just so good. It was so indicative of how clutch he can be, and I want to see him back in the lineup as quick as possible. I know Trevor does.
I'm going to be selfish. Hopefully both of them will come back this week, and then we won't have to choose one or the other. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll preview the rest of the week here on Jags AM.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dream Finders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dream Finders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dream Finders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
In partnership with Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation, any Jaguars ticket holders who are unable to attend a Jaguars home game can donate their future tickets to a Jacksonville area first responder. Visit jaguars.com/members and click Manage Account. Sign into your account and click Manage Tickets and Parking. Select the game tickets, click on the More button, and then choose to donate to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. Firehouse Subs is dedicated to impacting the life-saving capabilities and the lives of local heroes and communities. For more information, visit firehousesubsfoundation.org.
Jags fans, do you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home? You can check out zipchair.com to browse all customizable options. ZipChair is furniture for fans.
And we acting like dead toys. Hey. Go hard.
Andy's coming.
Andy's coming.
Andy's coming.
Andy's coming.
What a great read by Darius Williams. He literally jumps the route in front of the wide receiver, Drake London. This is the first interception that Darius Williams has had since going all the way back to November of 2020. And what a big moment to get it when his team needed it on the road at Wembley. And now they're having fun. Group celebrations in the end zone. Great job.
In the locker room before we board the plane.
No, I know. I remember that.
I said, I got the hardest celebration.
Yeah.
Andy's coming in the room.
Yeah.
Turn around, we fall out. And they go, right. That's woo. I said, bro, no, it's not. It's for the kids, bro. 1995 Toy Story. That's for the kids, bro.
It's for the kids, guys.
That was fun stuff.
That was cool. Really
I
cool.
told you we were going to look into it, do our investigative powers, and we found out Zay is the originator of the Toy Story celebration idea. Evan Ingram, apparently not a fan, but it went over well with everybody else.
How could you not be a fan after watching how good that Toy Story broadcast was? It was a lot
really
of fun.
good.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, and I love to see it. Anything different, anybody get everybody else engaged, and it's fun. Why not? Let's try it out a little bit more.
You know, the reason they do the things is to grab the kids' attention, right?
Sure.
In such a cluttered media world. My 18 and 19-year-old were talking about it. So, of course, they grew up watching it. Yeah. So I know you said your son did too.
Oh, no doubt. And what a cool thing for Zay to embrace it and make sure it happened, and then not the defensive players to get into it. They really are a bunch of kids sometimes, and that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool to see. All right, we're going to be here for the rest of the week in England. We've got a regular media day schedule, so we'll update you and get you ready for Sunday's game against the Bills throughout the week. We'll see you tomorrow on Jags AM.